I've been on a huge Pokemon and Temtem kick lately and have basically been spending a large amount of time playing those varying monster collector games. I never could really get into Pokemon Go because, well, I had to walk everywhere and it just wasn't viable from my chair. So as I was sitting there complaining to a friend that I don't really have a mobile game like Pokemon, they kind of just laughed and told me about Evertale. Evertale is a mobile RPG game that was developed by ZigZaGame Inc. and only costs 99 cents on Google Play and Apple Store. There's no character creation to this. You're just kind of set out into the world of Evertale and your base character that is able to go out and collect monsters, all while enjoying a story mingled in with your exploration. As you go along and defeat others woven into the story, they'll be added to your party, typically with varying skills. You'll even have a chance to garner them through side quests littered throughout the world. Their rarity and strength is noted by the bronze, silver, or gold stars at the base of their character card. And of course, the number of stars they have to them differ as well. The same is said for weapons that can be equipped to each party member and monster. The monsters themselves are collected much like Pokemon, and you wander through some grassy areas and engage in turn-based battle. Watch out for shaking bush and grass areas though, as within these shaking shrubs are unique monsters. The actual act of capturing is fairly much the same. You must damage the monster to weaken it enough to capture it, and you need to successfully fight off the surrounding monsters that come with it. The good part about this is if you fail to capture it, you can try again. There were quite a few times within the battle itself that I found myself destroyed by the opposing monsters because I either wasn't high enough level or didn't have enough members on my team. As you level, you'll be able to expand your team and your weapons as your allotted cost to have higher level members, more members, or better weapons increases. Your characters will also be in a visible queue, and depending upon what skills you choose for a particular character, you could come later or earlier in the queue, as some of the skills require time before you can capitalize on the next hit. And as you're fighting, you'll notice that your characters or your enemy characters have a little clock by their bar. This indicates a time before a large skill can be used, but definitely be aware of the enemies, as this could literally one-shot your entire team, as I found out the hard way. Your team also has a spirit bar. Some skills add points to the spirit bar, while others remove points. If you don't have enough points, well, then you're gonna miss out on some really big moves. So overall, the combat within this game requires a certain strategic approach. Unfortunately though, the same can't be said for me currently within the PvP. I tried quite a few PvP matches that places you in a level bracket after participating in 10 matches, which is all well and good, but the scaling of such matches isn't exactly fair. So if you do decide to participate in PvP, I highly recommend waiting until you've achieved at least level 80. Otherwise, you're gonna be completely blown into the next life. The only match I actually was able to win was when a level 80 took pity on me and didn't attack, or they were just setting their phone down and hoping that this was another mobile game that plays for you. But it doesn't. You actually have to touch your buttons. Aside from PvP, up until the point of finishing Evertale's quests, you are able to play in offline mode. You'll be able to capture wild monsters and train and evolve them, and the monsters themselves are quite interesting with each evolution. Though, once you've finished the main story, then you're thrust out into the real world. Overall, up until this point, the game is quite fun. I felt like I did very well at capturing wild animals in the games and had fun while doing so. Once you are no longer in the offline mode though, you'll be met with some restrictions that could be overcome with a paywall. The game itself is quite liberal with supplying you soul stones, but it's a slower grind if you don't have them. So if you're looking for a mobile monster collector game, this is a very cute game to do it in. The art style, the story, and the excitement of trying to capture monsters is certainly worth a look into in my book. I hope to see you all in game. This was MRSSTIX logging off for now. Bye!
In the sky.